Now I would like to introduce Senator Andy Billig, Washington State Senate Majority Leader, who will introduce Carla Pepperzak, our first Outstanding Service Award recipient. Senator Billig.
Thank you very much. Am I coming through okay? Okay, great. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you virtually. And thank you so much for the opportunity to join you today and for all that Jewish Family Services does. And thank you for the opportunity to introduce one of my heroes, Carla Pepperzak. And I just appreciate so much the recognition that you are providing her today. When I first met Carla about 15 years ago, I didn't know anything of her background. I met her at one of our congregation events, and I was immediately impressed with her because of the kindness and compassion that she exhibited. And then years later, when I learned the story of her efforts during World War II, she became not just a friend, but also a hero of mine. My colleagues in the Washington State Senate first heard of Carla's bravery in a resolution that we passed in her honor in 2015. We heard the story of how she forged documents, disguised herself as a German nurse, delivered food to those in hiding, and was an active member of the underground in Holland as she saved dozens of lives and brought hope to so many others. Carla continues to serve others even today. She's a hero not just because of her bravery during World War II, but also because of her dedication to sharing the lessons of the war and the Holocaust with future generations. In the last several years, Carla has given numerous talks at local schools and universities and published a memoir. She speaks passionately about her experiences to educate others about the atrocities of the Holocaust and the bravery of those who subverted the Nazis. I have this vivid memory of Carla speaking to a class of 11 and 12-year-olds that included my daughter, Bella. And it can be hard to get 11 and 12-year-olds to focus on anything. But they were sitting there hanging on Carla's every word. In fact, I have this picture of Bella still, of her staring up, sitting next to Carla and just staring up at her, riveted as she listened to the daring stories of her heroism as a teenager in the Dutch resistance. With courage and selflessness, she made the choice over and over to put herself in grave danger to save others from Nazi persecution. It's the kind of story you would expect to see in a movie, but it was real life for Carla and many others. And it's important that we remember this. Today, especially in light of the rise in anti-Semitic rhetoric and hate crimes, we cannot afford to let the story of Carla's brave choices in the face of fascism and ignorance to slip away. There will be a time, unfortunately, when there won't be anybody left who is still alive during this terrible period of our history, and that history must be preserved after they're gone. One of the ways we can memorialize and remember the terror of the Nazi regime and also the heroism of those who imposed it is to shine as bright a light as possible on the people who can best share those stories, which is exactly what we're doing today. While I'm on that point, I just want to mention that there's a movement to name one of Spokane's middle schools, one of the new middle schools, after Carla. And what a fitting tribute it would be to her, as well as a powerful way to help teach the lessons of the Holocaust to future generations of middle schoolers as they learn that a real hero of that era lives right here in Spokane. So thank you, Carla, for your service to our community, and thank you for your friendship. And with that, I'm delighted to present Carla Pepperzak with this well-deserved Outstanding Service Award.
Thank you, Andy. Sorry, it's my turn. Thank you so much, and thank you so much to the board and to Neil for and committees for selecting me for this award. I am so grateful for this award, and this is a wonderful honor that I just now received. Thank you for this recognition, because by doing this, we recognize the importance of not forgetting the Holocaust, and those of us who try and work hard to teach people, and especially our students, what happened during those awful years when so many innocent people were killed. I also wish to thank my oldest daughter, Marion Cummings, because she earned at least part of this award, because thanks to her help, it's possible for me to visit so many schools and universities, and I do not need to worry about working the computer. And also thank to Mary Noble, because Mary is taking over where Marion cannot do this. People ask me often why I did what I did, and my answer is I could help, so I helped. The need was there. Today, 75 years later, people ask me why I speak about the Holocaust in schools. My answer is similar. I can do it, and the need is there. Bigotry and hatred can never be ignored. I believe that God has given me the opportunity to live this long and to still have the ability to talk about the Holocaust, to tell our young people about those awful atrocities which took place, and that it really happened. I was there. It's no hoax. And please, please let it never happen again. Everybody can play his or her part. Never again. My personal mission with the presentations is to honor and remember all my relatives and friends who were killed. I can tell them after I'm dead and get to meet them again that I did my best not to let them be forgotten. When I end my talks, I like to use the word respect. I try to point out that each person should try to respect their fellow human beings. And if you do not like, even if you do not like them or understand them or do not agree with them, if we would learn to respect one another, we will never again have genocide. Respect excludes hatred. When you respect the person, you cannot kill. This is the talk, by the way, I gave when I received the Washington Person of the Year award. I thought it was very appropriate for this. Thank you very, very, very much. And by the way, I have the, I don't know if you can see it. This is the award I received. I don't know if it's very beautiful. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Carla, for your many, many years of service to our community and throughout our region. Next, I would like to introduce Hershel Zellman and Mary Noble, who in turn will introduce our next Outstanding Service Award honorees. Hershel and Mary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Carla, Mazel Tov. Very, very, very deserved award. Okay. Rabbi Hillel is quoted as saying, "If I'm not for myself, who will be for me? And when I'm for myself alone, what am I? And if not now, then when?"
Here's one interpretation of these words. If I am not for myself, who will be for me? Hillel challenges us to know who we truly are. What are our gifts and what are our challenges?
And when I'm for myself alone, what am I? It's not enough to just look out for ourselves. We each have something unique to contribute to the world of others.
And if not now, then when? Hillel reminds us that we must be aware of the need, but we must also have to act. We can't procrastinate because it is up to us to do what needs to be done.
These quotations from Rabbi Hillel are foundational for the work done by Spokane Area Jewish Family Services.
So that's the introduction to our introduction.
We're happy to present our dear friends, Bill and Berdine Bender, who are being honored with this year's JFS Community Service Award. Bill and Berdine embody Hillel's ethical directives.
Both Bill and Berdine served our community and their medical careers for over 3 decades. taking leadership roles at the hospital and on many committees. Since retiring, they have joined the ranks of JFS volunteers.
If I'm not for myself, who will be for me? Berdine has shared the gift of her voice ever since their first years in Spokane, singing with and leading the Temple Beth Shalom Choir, as vocalist with the Klezmer Band, and adding her lovely voice to community events such as our annual Yom HaShoah observance.
And when I am for myself alone, what am I? Bill shares his passions with enthusiasm. He loves bicycling. In order to share the benefits of cycling with the greater Spokane community, he started a little annual event called Spokefest, which has brought thousands of riders to the streets of Spokane to promote good health and outdoor activity. It takes months of planning. 2020 is the bar mitzvah year for Spokefest, and Berdine is his partner in pulling it off.
Bill has a passion for baking bread, so he shares his bread, willingly gives advice about bread baking, and encourages novice bakers to take the leap.
Bill has also been a critical part of our Yom HaShoah planning committee. His insights and ideas inspired us to develop writing contests for students so that we would not just preach never again, but also engage youth to learn about the Holocaust, to encourage them to act, embodying the third part of Hillel's ethical directive, if not now, then when?
We've known the Benders since they first came to Spokane, and our children grew up together. We're honored to be their friends and to share so much of our lives with them. We could go on, but we've used up our time.
So let's welcome Bill and Berdine Bender.
You're on mute.
We're unmuted. Marion Hershel, thank you so much. You've already pushed me to tears, so I hope I can get through this little speech here. That was lovely. Thank you. And Carla, we love you, and thank you so much for everything you've done. All right, I'm going to try to get through this. First of all, other than that, I'd like to thank Neil and Meryl and the entire JFS board for bestowing such an honor upon Bill and me. We are both incredibly humbled and appreciative of the donations to JFS that have been made in our honor by so many of you. And we so want to thank you for supporting such an important service organization for our entire community. On Friday, Neil dropped off with proper social distancing, a lovely gift for us that we wanted to show you all. It's a colorful and inspiring metallic sculpture by Israeli artist David Gerstein. So I'm going to try to show that to you. Let's see. Can you guys see that? It's like two people on a bicycle. And Bill and I think we still look this good, right? Yeah. Not really. Anyway, but mostly I really want to thank our generous Greater Spokane community, especially Temple Beth Shalom, for providing both of us with such an incredible community of giving people to learn from and to be connected to. Your example of caring, giving, social action, and community building is a beacon for all of us, and created by each and every one of you, giving what you can, when you can, to help make our world and our day-to-day existence more just, more fair, and so much more comforting. As a 7-year-old child, I began singing with our mostly adult choir at Temple B'nai Yehuda on the south side of Chicago. It was there that my love for Jewish choral music began. And mostly, it was the encouragement from the elders in our congregation that really started me off on my quasi-musical career. My Chicago congregation was mostly comprised of German Jewish refugees, many with tattooed forearms from the Holocaust. They would hear me sing, they'd pinch my cheek, ooh, and always call me the little opera singer in a very heavy German accent. It was that encouragement that sparked my love of Jewish music and singing, and it's your encouragement to not only our youth, but to our entire congregation. that will continue to spur on and nurture more singers, more Torah readers, more challah bakers, community builders, and political activists for our future. Those little words of encouragement to our youth and congregants alike, and the examples that you set are the cornerstone for our future generations. Words matter. You, our Jewish community, are all an inspiration and the essence of Tikkun Olam. To quote the words of Tzvi Freeman, who's the author of Bringing Heaven Down to Earth, each act of Tikkun Olam is a fine-tuning of our world's voices. With each tikkun, we are creating meaning out of confusion, harmony from noise, revealing the unique part each creation plays in a universal symphony that sings of its creator. This is a deeper meaning of the term Tikkun Olam. The word olam also means hidden. We need to repair the world so that its creator is no longer hidden within, but shines through each thing in magnificent, harmonious beauty. The Spokane Jewish community and JFS in particular are an inspiration and the essence of Tikkun Olam. Hidden within each of you shines a magnificent and harmonious beauty. And for that, I humbly say a heartfelt and sincere thank you for all that you have given to both Bill, my family and me, and to our entire community. Thank you.
A hard act to follow. Thank you for including both of us in the wonderful work done by the Spokane Area Jewish Family Services. The spirit and dedication of Neil Schindler, Merrill Gersh, the board, and the many volunteers is heartwarming, inspirational, and more contagious than a virus. As longtime fans of Spokane Jewish Cultural Film Festival to benefit Jewish Family Services, it was especially fun for us in this past year to be involved in the selection of the films to be shown at that festival. My particular area of volunteer work has been through several community projects for the city of Spokane. These events were born out of several driving forces in my life. One of these was growing up as an obese child with a tremendous love of baked goods. Thanks, Mom. Another is my fascination with Bloomsday, which gets thousands of people off the couch to become involved in a fun community event. And lastly, the use of my bicycle for exercise and commuting to work and school for nearly 50 years needed to be shared outside the walls of my home. In 2007, the Spokefest Association was formed. The initial project was for an annual community bicycle ride for all ages and abilities occurring in September. From this spun off bicycle safety classes in several school districts with donations of fleets of bicycles for those districts to use during class. In 2010, we started another community event called Spokane Summer Parkways, in which miles of streets are temporarily closed to traffic and open for all to ride bikes, walk, and recreate together. We also hold bike rides for kids and families called Kiddical Mass, including participation in one in September, which occurs in over 75 cities around the world, all at the same time. All of the above events are powered by volunteers, and I'm especially thankful for the number of people from the Jewish community who help make it all possible. As you can imagine, many of those people are the same dedicated souls who make Jewish Family Services run so successfully. Many thanks again for this honor and for all the good work done for our community.